Hello, I'm Pascal Brakman from RouteYou, and I want to demonstrate why RouteYou is very useful to organize and manage your content. So as a content management system, it's one of the features not well known, but if you're an organization such as a tourist organization with a lot of information, this might be very useful. There are a lot of tutorials showing you how you can create all that information. I'm going to show you what the benefits are. So let me start with a great example of Visit.Brussels. So Visit.Brussels is an organization, a tourist organization of Brussels, and they have all the information available about points of interest on RouteYou. So they have routes, but I'm going to start with places of interest. So they structured their places of interest. And again, there are some webinars where you can see how you can create your point of interest. So they structured their points of interest very well with types of interest, such as cathedrals, roads, buildings. Let me take one building as an example. And you see here that it's translated in Dutch and in French. It would be many more languages. So there's a text and there's a set of points of pictures. And the information is also classified with characteristics and themes. And if that wouldn't be enough, you can also create groups, which means that this type of information is related to beer, to cultural heritage, to architecture, and so on. So you can see here many more places of interests they have. And here you have that overview. You can search on specific themes, such as in the more options. First of all, you can select on types of points of interest, such as show me the churches, show me all the churches they have. And in this case, you get all the churches which they categorized. I'm going to take something general, but you could also see here, show me all the information which is related to architecture in this case. And here now you have all the information typically related to architecture. So what's the use of all this? Well, once you have this structured, they easily can now create their routes. Let me create one example. So you can plan a route, and they created a great cycling node network in Brussels. And let's first go to Brussels. And yeah, here we have it. So the green lines are lines where it's great to cycle. But now I want to make a thematic route. As a tourist organization, you would probably like to present a lot of different aspects of your city. Let's assume we want to make an architectural route, or a route related to all the information of architecture. I show you in a few seconds how you can now do that. I'm going to make a round trip. I'm going to select a bicycle. I'm going to use the node-to-node cycling network which exists. I want to create about 30 kilometers. I want to go in southwestern direction, and I'm going to start somewhere here in the European area. There we go. That's the suggestion I get. I want to go a bit more north, so I can still adapt my route to my liking. And that's fine. That's around the canal. So I'm done. I see that I have 57 kilometers, which is a nice trip for cycling. So I'm going to save the route. I'm going to call it the architecture route of Brussels. I recommend to create some more information here. So describe a bit what the route is about. And now I'm going to save the route. No, your first argument is like, yeah, but what is this now about? Architecture? And that's correct. We didn't add any information about architecture yet. So I'm going to do that now. The pencil allows me to add places of interest. What type places of interest? Well, I'm going to select 30. That's enough. Only the ones I created. So in this case, I'm Visit.Brussels. And they should be maximum 300 meters from the road. I can maybe take 1 kilometer as a max and say the theme should be architecture. So now I created the set of points of interest. The system automatically knows it's an English route. So automatically I'm going to add English information to it. I can very quickly translate and say, well, please add the translation. And I'm going to make it in French, automatic translation. Of course, check the automatic translation I'm just going to take it over. And now I have the French version. Again, I can repeat. If I would have done it first, I could do it at once. And here also I can add places of interest, take 30, only in French, because I'm happy with the English ones. And the theme should be, again, architecture. So now French information will be added because my content is also available in French. So it just takes a few seconds, as you can see, to get the information with now, in this case, the French information. And you can also use this on smartphone, or you can print it. Let me just show you the print. And this is a guidebook. This is a guide version of the route, which gives you not only the route, but all the other information. So in a few seconds, you create your own small guide on your thematic part. So this is the architecture route. This is the route map with all the information on it. Here's a profile. It's a bit hilly in and around Brussels. And here's all the individual information you will see along that route. So that's one example. Well, how can you now make use on your smartphone about it? Well, every route you can download. Also this one, I just printed one, but you can also open it on your smartphone. If you would scan the QR code, automatically you would see here is a mock-up of my smartphone. You could automatically get to that route. That's the first one. I'm going to do it in another way. Every route has also a unique code, which you can see here. How do you get from that code to that specific route? Of course, you could search on it, but a very easy trick is you go to the main menu. There's a search on the site. Just add that code, and we automatically detect this is a route of Visit.Brussels. I just created that route, so it's not verified yet, but me as an author of Visit.Brussels, I could say, yes, I verified it. So now as a user, anybody could have done it. I get to the route on my smartphone. I could have done it also with a QR code. Here I see all the information, the tourist information. You can switch to French if you like. If you're English speaking, you switch to English in this case. Here's the node network. That's the description, which is a bit limited in this case. Here are some statistics of the routes. Yes, and here we have all the places of interest which I will visit and which has the information related to architecture, as you can see here. I would like to cycle that route. Well, there's a next button, or you might have noticed at the top, here's a button, navigate on smartphone. I can select this one, or I can select this one. Let's select the main one. Automatically, I get to my map, and I can see also my starting points. I can record my route as a user. I'm going to skip that and just going to start. Automatically, it will shift to my position, and you can start navigating. The route is a bit away from my starting point, but I can start cycling, and the map will move along with my position, and I just stop. What's also great is here I have also the author Visit.Brussels. And you see that they have routes available, which I can select as I just did for one route. But I can also have the places of interest. So I can use this now as a guide because the tourist organization provided all this information. Even if I don't want a specific route, I can use all these places of interest as a guide. And now I can select, show me now, I'm going to do something with the kids. I want to have some places of interest, but I'm going to select something specific, some child-friendly parts, and I'll show me back the map, and now I get child-friendly information of things to do. I can use the map and click on them, or I can just make a list, and here I can see all the information which is fun or interesting to do with kids. For instance, this great statue, the kids definitely would like to see, and then I can just see on the map, well, where is this now? And I can just go to it or select a route nearby if I want to do one of those things. So that's one example of how you structure your data and how you use it very easily. Let me give you another example. I'm going back to planning a route. This was a cycling route. Let's do a walking route. I'm going to create a route again. Let's go back to Brussels. As I showed you before, I can start from the network and create a route, I can also do the inverse and say, well, let's start from points of interest. So I can show on the map, show me the places of interest. What places of interest would you like to see? Well, I can say all types, a specific keyword. The author, it should be my places of interest, since I structured them nicely, and I can indicate now, show me as a characteristic points of interest which are child-friendly. So now I can make, for instance, this child-friendly walk in the east of Brussels, and I can start here. I'm going to continue planning. For instance, I can start here, say, well, plan via this point of interest. I should be a hiker or a walker along the nicest paths. I'm going to start here, close it, or I'm going to add to the route that point of interest, go via this point, add to the route via this point, and you see it follows the nicest path, plan via this point of interest, and so on. I keep on going, and that might be enough, 10 kilometers with the kids, but it follows a set of routes which are useful. Here you see it does a small detour. I can still adapt and say, well, please follow that part of the park, adapt it a little bit. And now I'm going to make it my save the route, and I'm going to make my child-friendly walk in Brussels of 3 hours or something. You can give it the title you like. And some typos, save the route. And now I created my my route. You saw that I added already manually one point of interest, which was child-friendly, and a second point of interest, which was child-friendly. But now I'm missing out some others. As I showed you before, since all that data is structured, it's now very easy to add places of interest. Which ones? Let's take 30. Let's keep the ones which I have already, so don't replace the ones. I could choose only mine, but you can see that I can only add other places of interest, not only mine, but from other authors, and the characteristics should be child-friendly. I'm just gonna, 300 meters should be enough, confirm, and now the system will maximum give me 30 points of interest along the route which are child-friendly, if they're available. So here I can click on one. If you don't like this one or you want to remove it, it's that simple to unlink it, and then it's gone from your route. Here is the information, which I think, yeah, I don't want this one, so I remove it. So you can still control and add the information you like. So this you can do for your points of interest or places of interest about child-friendly, but also about architecture, history, and you can keep on going to create all your content. So these are a few examples why it makes sense to structure your data as Brussels has done and apply it on your content. If you would need some advice or help, please contact us via sales@RouteYou.com and have fun with it already. Goodbye.